Hey everyone, Lorne Golman here. I am showing you guys how to do rotoscoping in Adobe After Effects CS 5.5. Right here I have a clip from a short film I recently did called Square Jaw, and in it there's a 1940s detective who is in modern day. Just quickly scrubbing through this, and you can see he is black and white in a color world. So I'm going to show you how to do rotoscoping to achieve this effect. Alright, let's close this. I have the file of him shot in color over here. We're going to drag it down to this icon, and that will make us a new composition. So as you can see, he is color in this, and we want to make him black and white. What rotoscoping does is that it sets each frame and cuts out whatever shape you have set up. So the way we go about that is we will double click on our file here in the sequence. We're going to get a new window here. The tool for it is called Rotobrush, which is right up here. So what we'll do is we can scrub, or we can use page up and down on the keyboard to go frame by frame. So the very first frame I see right here, there's a little bit of black on his shirt. Now before you get going on this, I want to remind people that when they do rotoscoping, they need to have it on the full setting for quality. If it's on half or three-quarter or quarter or third, your rotoscoping won't be as crisp, and you'll run into issues later down the road. So make sure you have a beefy enough computer to be able to play back your footage at full, so when you do your rotoscoping, it works out smoothly. Also, quick little tip, if you hit the tilde key, which is to the left of the 1 and above tab on your keyboard, whatever window you have selected right here will become full screen. And that's really useful when you want to see actual pixels. So if we set this up to 100%, see the actual size of the pixels when you're doing the rotoscoping. So let's start. If you click Rotobrush right here, you're going to get this little icon, and you can quickly paint over that frame, and you see it puts a nice little outline around it. If you want to change the opacity of the outline, you can make it 50% or 75, and then you can hit page down on the keyboard, and it starts the rotoscoping. So as you can see, I don't need to repaint it. It is just showing that it is working through it right now. So it's doing a pretty good job. Over here you can see it needs to be adjusted a little bit, so we can just add a little bit more. Page down again. And this is why people get paid the big bucks for rotoscoping, is because it's really tedious. There's just a lot of sitting at the computer and going frame by frame. Over here on the top of his shoulder, I can see that the railing is starting to get into the little inclusion area of the rotoscoping. So if I press the Alt key, you can see it turns red. So if I press Alt, I can just paint over it lightly, and it will remove that. So pretty much that's what by frame here. As you can see, this is the inside of his arm, and that is the concrete wall back here. So we need to remove some of that. Just hit Alt, and a lot of times you might have to repaint the entire arm, like so, to make sure to get that. And you see now it is there. So if you go back frame by frame, you can see that, and every time you move along, it will go along and add the keyframes needed to do rotoscoping. So it takes a little bit of time, but if you go through and be very patient with the process, you can make a really good looking video. So I'm just going to go through and maybe get a couple more seconds of video, just so we can see the next step, what it looks like after this. And a little bit more down here. And as you can see, it added a little too much, so we just go back to our Alt key, and it takes it away. So just page down again, and it continues the rotoscoping. You can also change the brush size by just holding Command and scrolling up and down. So if you have a very large area you need to rotoscope, or a very small fine area like 1 pixel size, so Alt. And then this is just a custom brush that I have set up. Any brush size or type you can use. I like this one because I can get really nice and fine up with close edges. So yes, Command on Apple. You can just push your mouse forward or up or down to adjust the brush size. So let me continue rotoscoping here. It's not difficult, it's just really tedious. That's what I tell people when they ask me, you know, oh, how hard was that? You know, how long did it take? And for the 5-minute film, I had about 6,000 frames of video that I had to rotoscope. And if you have something like this that just didn't work, you can undo and just very lightly hit that up. Sometimes it just is a little finicky, and you just have to repaint over that, get rid of that down there, fix his arm, readjust a little bit. It's playing with it, massaging the video to work. This is a lot faster than the old way of doing rotoscoping. The old way of doing rotoscoping is you would actually essentially make a mat over whoever needed to be rotoscoped, and every frame you would need to adjust all the points. So we would just make a shape of a mat over this video, and we have to have a point here and a bunch here. And you know, if he was moving his hand, we have to have a bunch of points on his hand. So the rotor brush does speed it up a little bit, but it's not something that, you know, you could accomplish in, you know, 2 hours, you know, a 5-minute film. This definitely takes a lot of playing around with. So in the 7 or so minutes that I've talked with you, I've slowly but surely done about 2 seconds of video. So I'll just continue to maybe about 3 seconds, and then I'll show you the next step afterwards. So I hit tilde again, and get back to this screen. So if we go back to our composition, we can see, I'm just going to trim the composition down to where we left off. We can see how Dylan is cut out from the video. There's nothing behind him. So if we were to extend it, it would interpolate what needed to be rotoscoped. Sometimes it works if it's a very simple shape on a white background, but as you can see here, his head is starting to get cut off and there's more blue in the background. So we're just going to undo that and just show you, the first couple seconds. So just for kicks, I'm going to make a solid in the background, new solid, and just make it red so we can clearly see the rotoscoping behind him. Make this behind. You can see how he's rotoscoped from the video without a green screen. Also, when you click on this, when you click on the tab up here in Effect Controls, you have smoothing, feather, a bunch of different options to adjust all the parameters in the rotoscope. So we can smooth it a little bit, adjust the feather if we want, and it's nice and smooth along here. As you can see, it's not as chunky as it was earlier. And then to do the black and white effect that we had in SquareJaw, I just simply took the video and duplicated underneath it so it is exactly synced up frame by frame. And then in Effect and Presets, I just quickly searched for black and white in color correction and applied the filter on what I rotoscoped. The black and white filter does a really nice job by adjusting all of the different color parameters of the video instead of simply just removing the saturation as you would anywhere else. With the black and white filter, you can also add, a tint if you want, make it kind of sepia colored or something. Some people might really like that. I opted just to go straight black and white grayscale just to keep the video from looking like it was miscolored in some way. My colorist was very happy for that because he did not want the video to have that tinted color. But yeah, as you can see, he's black and white here where we rotoscoped, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, in review, the couple things you need to do when you rotoscope is make sure you have a full quality setting, so that way you see all of your pixels. When you do rotoscope, you can't use the roto brush just in composition. You need to double click on the video and actually get the viewer set up, so that way you can see it there. You can see he's rotoscoped, and then hit the roto brush. There are a couple options. Let's say we did rotoscope it and we want to adjust it. We have an alpha overlay, which shows, if we go back here, where he is keyed, toggle the boundary, and then actually show the video. So it's a lot of fun to play around with this, and lots of different options. So again, have fun with it. It's something I would highly suggest playing around with before you commit any project to doing rotoscoping. Once you are familiar with it and ready to take on a project, definitely commit a lot of time to make sure that it's finessed properly. Otherwise, when your character is touching someone else's hand, or there's a lot of movement like walking, in the film there were a couple scenes where he had his tie flying everywhere. That definitely took a lot more time to rotoscope versus just him sitting in the office. So again, this has been Lorne Golman with a rotoscoping tutorial to show you how to get great rotoscoped video like this. Thanks for watching.